Bob Horn, you have been in the dirt business for a super long time. Before we get in and talk about ProChemical, can you talk about what you did before that?
For ProChemical, I was in the dirt moving business for 22 years in a pretty big way. We had scrapers and motor graders and all the big stuff. Kind of got burned out on it. So I was kind of looking for something else to do. And so I run across this chemical deal. A lot of the people I got to talking to called it snake oil. They said, we don't want to have nothing to do with any snake oil.
So I'm understanding they didn't believe that it could help stabilize soil at all.
No. And they said, come back and talk to us in 10 years. Prove to us that the product works. That's what I did. I started doing test sites, started proving that the product works. It took about 10 years before started getting it accepted by labs. Got one lab, an engineer that I knew, and he got to run and test on it, and he really liked the product, did a lot of testing on it, and he started speccing the product.
That's cool.
And that's when it started taking off.
Would you say that you guys were pioneers in the, I guess, soil stabilization field?
Yes, definitely. Now, there was some companies out there doing water injection and moisture conditioning.
And moisture conditioning is when they bring in a different type of dirt and they lay it down and they spread it with water, lay it down in 6-inch intervals, right?
Exactly. But I was the first guy on the block that started using chemical, electrochemical. I kind of pioneered it. It took 10 years. They were right. So I'm proud of that.
Sure.
And breakthrough moment was this project out in Grand Prairie called Poly America. It started out injecting a warehouse, 25,000 square foot building, which we did. They were so impressed with what we did and the test results that they said, well, we got 100,000 square foot warehouse coming up.
Nice.
So we definitely want you to do that. Rocked along there after we did it, and they come up with another big warehouse, and they were in a building mode. So that was our first breakthrough moment. Big project for us. And that's what really got us going.
The Polyamerica projects were proof positive, obviously. They use those as litmus tests, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that you could sell the services to other people who were naysayers.
Yes. Good advertisement.
Prior to that, were you just doing hand injection?
Pretty well. We got a few. We did one car dealership out in Arlington that we didn't have a tractor, but we had hand injection rigs.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, so we did it by hand. And
so just for people who may not know, hand injection is when you take a rod that's maybe 10 feet tall.
Yes.
And it has water that's pressurized.
Yes.
And it has the solution in it, right?
Yes.
And so they're actually going into the ground and
Right.
coming up in intervals, right?
Right. And we still do quite a bit of that. But all the engineers said you need to get with doing it, because there were some companies out there that were doing the water injection, and they were using tractors. So a lot of the engineers said you really need to up your game and use tractors.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we did. We started building using hydraulics and tractor injection.
The solution that you used, did you continually test changing different ingredients in that solution to find what works?
Not so much different ingredients, different solutions.
Dilution ratios, that sort of thing?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, that's really cool. Now, so when you're talking about the rig, you're actually talking about you had steel poles that are hydraulically on the front of a skid steer or something like that of a tractor, and so you're injecting like 4 or 5 rods at the same time, right?
Right. Plus, we not only the tractors doing the injection, but you have to have the big pumps to pump the solution. That we're pumping 100 gallons a minute.
Sure.
And so it takes a big pump to do that, and
And a lot of water.
yeah, a lot of water. Exactly.
So did you always see yourself as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I just always was big on integrity, a man of my word, treating people like I like to be treated. That's how I built my business.
With the first business in the excavation, that business was kind of a catalyst for bringing you into soil stabilization.
Yes. In the dirt business, a lot of the jobs we were doing, we'd go in and take out 4, 5, 6 feet, sometimes up to 8 or 10 feet of dirt.
Wow.
And dig it out and try to utilize it on site. If not, haul it off and then bring in what they call select fill.
So select fill it's non-expansive, right? It doesn't expand and contract.
Exactly. That's expensive process to do that. And then the idea forms in your head, there's got to be a better way of doing this. And if we can treat this stuff on site, we've got a winner. So that's how the idea formed in my head of doing some kind of injection.
Did you, as you were building your business, even the business before soil stabilization, did you have any mentors or any experiences that maybe influenced how you do business, leadership, any of that kind of stuff?
No, not really. Other than
the School of Hard Knocks?
Yeah, School of Hard Knocks. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you had employees who helped kind of shape in the problem-solving process.
Yeah. That's true. Had a lot of good employees.
Yeah. I've always heard that you want to hire people that are smarter than you.
Yeah.
When you started ProChemical Soil Stabilization, you were in your 50s. That is a time when many adults are getting ready to wind down. They're considering retirement in a few years. What was it that spurred you on
I enjoyed working. I was kind of burnt out in the dirt business.
Mm.
I was kind of looking for something else to do. That's kind of what triggered getting into the injection business. I had seen this water injection and moisture conditioning. I said, if we can do the same thing with a chemical, it'd be, a good way to go. Did a lot of test sites to prove that it worked.
After the breakthrough, so to speak, how did you convince homeowners and builders that this was the way to go?
What we had was proof. We had proof that the product worked. And so that was a big selling point.
By proof, you mean you had lab results, right?
Test results. Yeah.
Right.
Test results.
Right.
And that catches their eye when you've got absolute proof that what you're putting before them is absolutely proof that the product works, then they'll buy into it.
So with the testing, were you involved at all with, there was a study done by UTA, I think it was in 2016. It was a 2-year study, I think, that came up with some really conclusive evidence. How involved were you with that? And can you tell me a little more about it?
We got the university, talked to them, showed them what we had for as test results on some of the projects like Frisco Square, asked them if they would run tests on the product, which they agreed to do.
With civil engineering?
Yeah, I was involved in all that. Sure was.
How effective do you think that was in helping convince others that this was the way to go?
It was a big winner when you got a university study that it was unreal how much it helped with selling the product and the injection process.
How did you originally price your product since it was kind of new?
I guess you would say that it was through trial and error. I think we probably made some mistakes exactly how to price it. But being in the dirt business, you kind of learn how to price things per square foot.
Sure.
On dirt work, so you kind of learn how to price everything, because everything you do is based on price per square foot.
Sure.
So that's kind of how you learn.
Okay, what does your setup look like when you first started doing hand injection?
When we first got started, it was kind of embarrassing.
In what way?
Well, when we first started doing hand injection, we had a fuel tank. We put on like a diesel tank that we put water in, and then we put a chemical in this fuel tank.
Wow.
And
but you had to pressurize it though, right?
Yeah, had to pressurize it with our pumps, and so it was kind of embarrassing to start with, when you first get started,
Sure.
and but it didn't take too long till we was building expensive injection rigs.
So with respect to that, what was the point where you decided, we need to build bigger rigs?
Engineers, they wasn't happy with just doing hand injection. They wanted something that was more impressive. And that's where the idea tractor, they wanted, they've seen these water injection people with the tractors that did the water injection. So they wanted something similar. And so that's what brought all that on.
What was the toughest project that you had to deal with in your career, or the toughest client?
Projects out in Los Colinas. The toughest soil that I think that I've ever run across in anywhere is in Los Colinas. Something about all that soil out there. It's nearly impossible to treat it. I've seen it like the Boy Scouts of America building out there. The bottom floor. This is, I think, about a 8-story building. They went in and took out the concrete in the bottom floor, took it all out.
Wow.
And dug out, I think, 4, 5, 6 feet of that soil. It was cracking glass up 4 or 5 stories up.
Wow.
There's 2 or 3 ways of you do what they call pier and beam, or you can do our process where you go in and inject electrochemical. That's some of the worst soil that we've ever dealt with.
Everything you've done, everything you've built, what part of this business are you most proud of?
The part I'm most proud of is my son over there did a unbelievable job of picking up and taking this company. I'm so proud of him and what he's been able to do. I've always big on integrity and building a company that is built on honesty and integrity and treating people like you want to be treated. And he's doing the exact same thing.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
How do you hope ProChemical or the business in general evolves into the next generation?
I hope that it continues to, which I think it will, as long as the economy does good and it keeps growing. And I hope it continues to do good and continues to grow. And there's no telling what it can be in the next, 10 years from now.
What changes in the industry have you seen that have impacted how you guys do business? From when you started until when you handed it off to Todd?
Time changes everything.
Sure.
It's hard to say what changes may occur that will affect everything. I'm hoping that things will continue to go as they've been going. I think they will, or that's what I hope for.
What advice would you give to the next generation of the company?
Well, my advice would be to whatever they do is keep the highest level of integrity. I am big, and Todd is the same way. He's doing the same thing. The highest level of integrity that you can have is a key to maintaining and running a company. That is my advice to him and to all the employees that helps him run this company.
Bob, thanks a lot. This has been super fun talking to you about the origin of your business, and I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. I enjoy doing it.